All right, let's dive into one of the most persistent stereotypes out there, the messy genius. You know the image, right? Papers stacked to the ceiling, books everywhere, total chaos. But what if there's actually a method to that madness? Well, we're going to find out.
So let me ask you something right off the bat, and be honest. Take a look at your own desk right now. If it's not perfectly tidy, does that mean something's off? You know, that you're unfocused, or maybe even lazy? That's the big question we're tackling today.
Okay, so we've all seen those pictures, haven't we? I mean, Albert Einstein's desk, it's legendary, just buried under this absolute mountain of papers. This whole messy genius thing is such a cliche, but I've always wondered, is it just a funny quirk or is there something much, much deeper going on here?
I mean, think about it. We've been told our whole lives that a clean space equals a clear mind, right? It's drilled into us from day one. Clean your room. A tidy desk for a tidy mind. There's just this huge pressure to be perfectly neat and organized in, like, every part of our lives.
But what if that's not the whole story? What if all that conventional wisdom is just wrong? Or, at least, missing a huge piece of the puzzle? What if, for some of the smartest, most effective people out there, a messy desk isn't a problem at all? What if it's actually a secret weapon?
All right, let's tackle this thing head on. It's time to bust this myth wide open. This idea that physical mess automatically means mental chaos. Because you know what? The assumption that connects those two things, it might be totally flawed.
And it's wild, isn't it, how deep this idea goes. We see a messy room or a cluttered desk, and our brain just leaps to conclusions. We think, wow, that person must be so disorganized, so undisciplined. We automatically assume they can't get anything done.
But hold on a second. Let's flip this around. What if it's not random chaos at all? What if that mess is actually the result of a calculated choice, maybe even a subconscious one? A choice to put energy into something, well, something more important.
And this, right here, is where it gets really interesting. This is the core idea we're exploring. We're going to move past this simple, messy versus neat argument and look at a much smarter way of thinking about it, the logic of selectivity.
So what is selective organization? Get this, it's not about being messy for the sake of it. It's about realizing your mental energy, your brain power, is finite. It's like a battery. And you make a choice, consciously or not, to not waste that precious battery life on stuff that doesn't really matter for your most important work.
Now, this is a really, really important point. This is not a free pass to just let your entire life become a disaster zone. Not at all. That whole messy desk stereotype, it's so misleading because it's only showing you one tiny, tiny piece of the picture.
Because it's all about being organized where it truly counts. So you flip the coin over, and that same person with the chaotic desk, their digital file system might be a work of art, totally pristine. Their code, flawlessly structured. Their research notes, you better believe they're perfectly cross-referenced. They are hyper-organized in the places that actually fuel their genius.
So why does this strategy work so well? Well, it's all about a simple, powerful trade-off. Look, every single day you wake up with a limited amount of mental energy. That's it. The only real question is, where are you going to spend it?
And this visualizes it perfectly. Think of your brain's energy like a gas tank. Are you going to burn a ton of that precious fuel on trivial stuff, constantly shuffling papers, alphabetizing your spice rack? Or are you going to let that small stuff go just a little so you have a full tank for the heavy lifting, for the deep, focused work that's actually going to make a difference?
So let's break it down. On one side, you have the stuff that gets ignored. We're talking about the physical tidiness, the pile of coffee mugs by the sink, the low-impact chores. But on the other side, the prioritized side, that's where the magic happens. That's where you find the perfectly organized digital files, the super efficient work systems, and all the brain power needed to crack those really tough, complex problems. It is a totally strategic move.
So when you really get down to it, this incredible advantage that these brilliant minds have, it's not some magic power they were born with.
It's something way more practical. The real secret weapon is knowing what to ignore. Seriously, it's the discipline to just ruthlessly sideline anything that doesn't help you get to your main goal. It's an active choice. It's saying, nope, that doesn't matter right now.
Okay, so this is all great, but what does it actually mean for us? How can you and I use this idea without it just becoming an excuse to be sloppy? Well, it all comes down to one word: intentionality.
Here's a super simple way to think about it. Step 1,
Figure out what your high-impact zones are. Where does being organized actually give you the biggest bang for your buck? Maybe it's your code, your research notes, your art supplies. Step 2, go all in on organizing those zones. Make them perfect. And then step 3, and listen, this is the hardest one for a lot of us, give yourself permission to let the other stuff go. Just ignore it.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing is about redefining what productivity even means. True productivity isn't about how neat your desk looks, it's about how effective you are. It's about the quality of your work, not the aesthetic of your workspace.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's the mess in your life you could just ignore? What's that one trivial thing that's draining your mental battery every single day? And just imagine, what could you create? What could you solve if you gave yourself permission to let it go and focus on your own genius?